Every day he feels closer. Like the world is bending toward him again.
He's inside the silence now, pushing through thoughts I can't hold back anymore.
Some part of me still hears him, waiting for the moment I slip. I try to stay strong.
Stranger Things, 5 Volume 1 is out. We already know what happens in the first 4 episodes. Now everyone is looking at the calendar. Volume 2 drops on December 25th, Christmas Day. Most people see that and think, great, we are getting cozy Christmas Stranger Things. Maybe a hopeful turning point. Maybe a warm family-style win before the finale. But what if I told you the Christmas episodes are not a gift? They are a trap. In this video, Stranger Things 5. Christmas episodes are a trap. We are going to talk about why Netflix and the Duffer brothers picked that date on purpose, and why it probably means Volume 2 is where things get much worse, not better. First, let us look at the pattern. Stranger Things has always used nostalgia and comfort as bait. Kids on bikes, arcades, snowball dances, mixtapes, all the warm 80s vibes. But almost every time the show gives you something soft and familiar, it twists the knife. The Christmas lights in Season 1 were not just cute decorations. They were a way for a missing child to scream through the walls.
Okay, baby, talk to me. Talk to me, where are you? G-H-T-R-E, right here. I don't know what that means. What should I do? How do I get to you?
The arcade in Season 2 was not just fun. It was where the Mind Flayer first showed us that it was still watching Will.
Hey guys, do you see the... Will! Are you okay?
So when you see Stranger Things 5 Volume 2 land right on Christmas Day, you have to ask, is this a reward or is this another setup? Now think about what Christmas means in stories. In a lot of classic fantasy, winter and Christmas are not just weather or holidays, they are symbols. In The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, the world of Narnia is frozen in endless winter. Always winter and never Christmas. When Christmas finally shows up, it does not mean the danger is over. It means the real war is about to start. In horror, Christmas is often used as contrast. Bright lights, happy music, family gatherings. And then something terrible happens right in the middle of it. The horror feels stronger because it is invading a day that is supposed to be safe. Stranger Things. 5 is the final season. The Duffers know fans are already emotional. Dropping Volume 2 on Christmas lets them hit that contrast as hard as possible. Imagine this. You sit down on December 25th. You are full of food. You are in a good mood. You press play. The show might start with snow in Hawkins, Christmas lights, families trying to pretend everything is normal. Our main characters get one brief moment of peace. Then the upside down pushes back. A rift opens. Will gets another vision. Vecna makes his next move. The timing makes it feel like the show itself just ruined Christmas. That is not an accident. That is emotional design. There's also the bigger meta level. Netflix cares about watch time and conversation. Releasing Stranger Things. 5 Volume 2 on Christmas does 3 big things. Number 1, it guarantees millions of people will be home and off work, perfect for binge watching. Number 2, it hijacks the holiday news cycle. Every entertainment site will run headlines like, Stranger Things, 5 Christmas episodes break fans. Number 3, it taps into a tradition horror has used for years. Take a safe date, break it. From a story point of view, Volume 2 being a trap makes sense too. If the full season is 8 episodes, Volume 1 is the setup. Volume 2 is the escalation. The finale is the resolution. So what does escalation look like in Stranger Things 5? This is where heroes lose ground. Secrets about Will and Vecna get exposed. The party realizes their current plan cannot work. And at least one big twist hits that changes how we see the entire war with the Upside Down and Dimension X. A Christmas drop is the perfect place to do that. Give viewers something big that they have to sit with for a whole week until the finale. Maybe Christmas is the day the barrier between Hawkins and the Upside Down finally breaks for good. Maybe it is the day Will fully connects to the hive mind. Maybe it is the day we learn Vecna is not the final boss after all. Whatever it is, it will not be a neat little bow. It will be a cliffhanger. So what should you expect from the Stranger Things 5 Christmas episodes? Expect comfort used as misdirection. Expect at least one scene that feels like classic holiday warmth. And then expect that scene to be shattered by something from the Upside Down or Dimension X. Expect Volume 2 to feel bigger and darker than Volume 1, not because of more monsters, but because the show will finally force Will, Eleven, and the rest of the party to face truths they have been running from since Season 1. Here is the simple way to think about it. Volume 1 made you remember why you love Stranger Things. Volume 2 on Christmas is going to test how much you can handle it when that love hurts. The Christmas episodes are not the happy ending. They are the moment the spell breaks and the real shape of the story shows up. Now that you know why the Stranger Things 5 Christmas episodes are a trap, the next question is, even if the party realizes what is happening, are they strong enough to win? In my next video, I break down the level 20 problem in Stranger Things 5, why Eleven still cannot beat Vecna in Volume 2, and what kind of power-up the group needs before the final episode. Click that next, and let us keep getting ready for what Christmas in Hawkins really means.
You believed you could end this, end me. But all you can do now is witness the world I'm about to unleash.
Stranger Things 5, Volume 1 is done. Volume 2 drops on Christmas. And right now, every YouTube channel is saying the same thing. Rewatch Season 1. Rewatch Season 4. Spot the parallels. That is fine. But if you really want to predict what happens in Stranger Things 5 Volume 2, there is a better move. Do not just rewatch the show. Study the stories it is copying. In this video, 3 stories you must watch before Stranger Things 5. Volume 2. I am going to give you a simple homework list for the next month. 3 books and movies that map almost perfectly onto what Volume 1 started and what the Christmas episodes are probably going to finish. Story number 1. A Wrinkle in Time. This one is huge for Stranger Things 5. A Wrinkle in Time is about a group of kids traveling through space and time to rescue someone they love from a cosmic, shape-shifting evil.
Is that his work? What's it about?
He believes that we could travel the universe instantaneously.
So you fall to space.
More likely wrinkle it.
They do it by moving through a kind of shortcut in reality, a wrinkle instead of normal time. The villain is not just a monster, it is a mind, a dark intelligence that wants to flatten free will and control everything. Sound familiar? In Stranger Things 5, Volume 1 sets up Will Byers as the beginning and the end. We have Dimension X, we have the Upside Down, we have Vecna acting like the face of a much bigger hive mind. If you watch or read A Wrinkle in Time before Volume 2, pay attention to 3 things. How the kids travel, how the darkness tries to control their thoughts, and how love and identity become literal weapons against a cosmic brain. Stranger Things has already remixed this once with Eleven. In Season 5, it feels like Will is about to get his own Wrinkle in Time arc. A kid pulled between 2 minds, trying to decide which one he belongs to. Story number 2. It by Stephen King. The Duffers have never hidden this one. Small town, group of kids.
The entire camp? There are rumors of Indians, but no sign of an attack.
Cosmic evil that feeds on fear. A monster that comes back in cycles and changes shape based on what you are most afraid of. In It, the real horror is that the town gets used to the pattern. People look away. The adults forget what happened. Only the kids remember the truth. And even they start to forget when they grow up. In Stranger Things 5, Volume 1, we are basically in the second cycle. The party is older. The threat is bigger. The town is traumatized. And the evil has history with them. If you watch or read it before Volume 2, focus on two things: how the kids fight Pennywise as children, and how they have to come back as adults and fight the same evil again, but with their memories broken. That is the blueprint for where Stranger Things is right now. The question for Volume 2 is simple. Are we watching the final battle? Or are we watching the middle of a cycle that is going to repeat? There is also one more detail. In It, the final fight is not really about punching the monster. It is about understanding what it is, what rules it follows, and what it is afraid of. We have spent all of Stranger Things 5 Volume 1 learning how Vecna and the hive mind work. Volume 2 is where that knowledge has to pay off. Story number 3, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. This is the sneaky one, and it matters because of the Christmas release.
I ain't gonna smell it if that's what you want. With Adam's flesh and Adam's bone sits a Cair Paravel enthroned. The evil time will be over and done.
In The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, the kids enter another world through a normal object. A wardrobe in a spare room. That world is locked in a state of endless winter. Always winter and never Christmas. Under the control of a powerful witch. The turning point of that story is when Christmas finally arrives. The snow is still there. The danger is still there. But the arrival of gifts and hope means the spell is starting to break. Now think about Stranger Things 5 Volume 2, dropping on December 25th. Netflix and the Duffers did not pick that date by accident. They know our brains link Christmas to happy endings and warm feelings. If they are using Narnia logic, Christmas in Stranger Things 5 is not the end of winter. It is the moment the real war starts. If you watch or read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe before Volume 2, pay attention to 3 things. How the kids cross between worlds, how the endless winter works, and how the arrival of Christmas does not remove danger. It exposes it. Now here is your Stranger Things 5 homework list in one sentence. A wrinkle in time for the time in mind. War around Will and Dimension X. If for the repeating cycle of evil in Hawkins, and the idea that Vecna might not be the final boss. And The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe for the way Christmas, portals, and endless winter worlds can all collide in the Volume 2 episodes. If you want to go all in, do one of these each week before December 25th. By the time Volume 2 drops, a lot of Stranger Things 5 will feel less like a random twist, and more like the final act of 3 stories you already know. Now that you have your homework list for Volume 2, the next step is understanding why the party still is not strong enough to win. In my next video, I break down the level 20 problem in Stranger Things 5, why 11 still cannot beat Vecna in Volume 2, and what loot or power up the party needs before the finale. Click that next, and let us keep getting ready for the Christmas episodes together. Stranger Things 5. Volume 1 is full of visual Easter eggs, but some of the most important clues are not in the picture at all. They are hiding in the audio and in the subtitles. If you watched Volume 1 once and felt like something was off, or like a scene was trying to tell you more than you could see, you are not imagining it. The Stranger Things team is using sound design as a second layer of storytelling. And if you are not listening for it, you are missing part of Stranger Things 5. In this video, you missed the clue, hiding. In Volume 1 audio, we are going to talk about 3 things: the hidden sounds inside the Upside Down and Vecna scenes, the subtitle-only moments that give away extra information, and the simple settings that will help you hear Stranger Things Season 5 the way it was mixed. Let us start with the upside down and Vecna audio. Every time Stranger Things 5 goes into Vecna territory, the soundscape changes long before the visuals do. You will hear low rumbles, a faint ticking, distant metallic groans, and little reversed echoes of voices.
Do it.
It almost feels like the show is breathing around the characters. In Volume 1, the ticking clock is obvious in some scenes and almost invisible in others. Sometimes it is loud right before a vision starts. Other times, it is buried so deep under the music that you only notice it if you wear headphones. That is on purpose. The ticking is not just a horror sound, it is a signal, a way for the show to mark Vecna's presence even when he is not on screen.
4 times. Max.
In some Volume 1 scenes, the clock starts ticking before the characters feel anything. If you catch it, you know something is coming. If you miss it, the scare feels more sudden. There are also scenes in Stranger Things 5 Volume 1 where background voices are distorted, reversed, or pushed to the edge of hearing. In some upside-down shots, you can almost make out familiar words inside the noise. Screams from earlier seasons, snatches of dialogue, a name said too quietly to show up in the main mix. This is where subtitles come in. Netflix subtitles and closed captions for Stranger Things 5 are not just accessibility tools. They sometimes label sounds in a way that spoils what is going on. If you have subtitles off, you just hear a weird sound and move on. If you have them on, you might see things like clock ticks faster, whispered voice says, "Join us." Distant creature screeches in the dark. In a few key Volume 1 scenes, the captions tell you who is speaking, even when the character is off-screen or heavily distorted. They might label a line as Vecna, or as Will, or as an unknown voice. Often this happens long before the plot confirms anything. Sometimes the text at the bottom of the screen is the only place where the show admits that a certain sound is the Mind Flayer, or that a certain echo is Will Byers, not Vecna. That is huge if you are trying to understand the real rules of Stranger Things Season 5. So how do you actually catch this stuff without replaying every scene 10 times? First, watch at least one episode of Stranger Things 5 Volume 1 with good headphones or a decent soundbar. Laptop speakers and tiny TV speakers often crush all the detail into a flat wall of noise. You do not need studio gear. You just need something that does not turn the upside down into a single rumble. Second, turn on English closed captions for at least one rewatch. Do not use auto-translated subs. Use the official English CC track. That is the one that includes labels for sound effects, not just spoken words. Then, pay attention to 3 types of captions. Number 1, captions that describe the quality of a sound. If it says distorted clock ticking or echoing heartbeat, that usually means someone or something is manipulating reality. Number 2, captions that tell you who is speaking when the voice is off screen. If it labels a whisper as Vecna, that supports the idea that he is active in scenes where the camera never shows him. If it labels a background line as Will, that is a clue about his connection to the hive mind. Number 3, captions that describe background noise inside the upside down. If you start seeing things like creature circling overhead or distant roar gets closer, you know the show is hinting at entities we have not fully seen yet. The last piece of this puzzle is your audio settings. Just like we had to fix motion smoothing for the picture, we need to make sure your sound is not working against Stranger Things Season 5. If your TV or streaming box has an option called speech enhancement, clear voice, or night mode, try turning it on for Stranger Things 5. These modes often boost dialogue and small sounds, so they are easier to hear at lower volumes. If you are using a soundbar, look for a movie or cinema mode, rather than sports or music. Movie modes are tuned for sound effects and surround details. That is exactly what you want when you are trying to hear a faint clock tick hiding behind the score. The goal is simple. You want dialogue, subtle effects, and music to be clear without having to crank the volume so loud that the Demogorgon attack wakes up your neighbors. Once you do this, Stranger Things 5. Volume 1 feels different. The world sounds alive. Scenes that felt flat suddenly have layers. The show starts giving you tiny hints about Vecna, Will, the Mind Flayer, and the Upside Down long before the plot spells anything out. Now that you know you missed clues hiding in the Volume 1 audio, there is one more upgrade that will change how you watch Stranger Things 5. You already fixed your TV picture. You have tuned your sound and your subtitles. The next step is understanding why the story itself is built like a Dungeons & Dragons campaign, and what that means for Eleven versus Vecna. If you want to see why Eleven still cannot beat Vecna in Volume 2, and how the party is underleveled on purpose, watch my next video on the level 20 problem in Stranger Things 5.